Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, BCSF just filed an 8K reporting their earnings call schedule, and I am seeing one detail that might signal a shift. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. Bain Capital Specialty Finance is giving us a heads up on their upcoming second quarter results. And while it seems like a routine announcement, there is a subtle timing clue worth noting. On the 23rd of July, Bain Capital Specialty Finance Incorporated announced they will be releasing their financial results for the quarter that ended on the 30th of June. This release is set for Monday, the 10th of August, after the market closes. Following up on this, they're also scheduling a conference call to discuss these results. That call will happen on Tuesday, the 11th of August, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Think of this as the company getting ready to show us the numbers and talk about how they did, and it's all laid out in this press release here, which is being filed with the SEC now. What is interesting here isn't just that they're announcing their earnings, but when they are announcing it and what that might imply. It is pretty normal for companies to tell us a few weeks in advance when they'll share their financial performance. However, the fact that this particular announcement, the press release itself, is dated the 23rd of July. But the actual earnings release is scheduled for the 10th of August is a bit of a gap. That's almost 3 weeks between when they say they're going to announce and when they're actually going to announce. Bain Capital Specialty Finance Incorporated, often known by its ticker symbol BCSF, operates in the financial services and asset management space. They manage assets for clients, essentially handling money and investments. The company is based in Delaware and its principal executive offices are located in Boston, Massachusetts. On the stock market, BCSF has a market capitalization of around $808 million with a price to earnings ratio of about 10.9. Its current stock price is hovering around $12.46 within its 52. Week range of $11.82 to $15.84. This suggests a relatively stable trading history recently, though we've seen some analyst revisions after their first quarter results, which might indicate they are looking closely at how they are performing. Looking at external news, there is a headline from Stock Titan on the 23rd of July, matching the date of this filing, which states Bain Capital Specialty Finance schedules Q2 results called the 11th of August. This confirms the information we are seeing. It is basically a heads up that they are indeed planning this call. The news also mentions BCSF stock price had a slight dip of 0.120% on the 24th of July, closing at $12.45. This kind of small movement is fairly typical, but it's happening against a backdrop of analysts having recently cut their fair value estimates for BCSF stock following first quarter revisions. This suggests that while the company might be steady, there are some underlying concerns or adjustments being made by analysts after their initial reports. The company's common stock, with a par value of $0.001 per S-share, is traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol BCSF. This is their primary listing, and it means they are subject to the rules and regulations of one of the world's major stock exchanges. When we look at who holds the company's stock, Bain Capital Credit Incorporated is a major player owning over 11.8 million shares, which is about 18.2% of the company. This significant stake from within the Bain Capital umbrella is something to keep an eye on. Other large institutional holders include Bank of America Incorporated, with 4.2% and Crescent Asset Management Incorporated with 3.2%. These are substantial holdings, indicating that professional investors are watching BCSF closely. Now, let's get back to that timing we discussed. A longer than usual gap between an initial announcement and an actual earnings release could sometimes mean a company is dealing with complexities. Maybe they are finalizing some tricky accounting, or perhaps they are negotiating a significant deal that they want to either include in the results or announce around the same time. It is not necessarily a bad sign, but it is a point of attention. For instance, if a company were facing unexpected losses or had to restate figures, they would take longer to put out their report. Conversely, if they had surprisingly strong numbers and were coordinating a major partnership announcement, that could also contribute to delays. The filing is signed by Sabrina Rusnak-Carlson, who holds the title of General Counsel. This is a standard part of these reports, ensuring that the company's legal and compliance teams have reviewed and approved the information being submitted to the SEC. What this filing essentially is a notification. It is telling the market, hey, we're going to tell you how we did in the last quarter, and here is when. The key takeaway is the timing. The fact that they are giving us almost 3 weeks notice after they are officially releasing the press release is the most notable part of this filing. It is unusual enough to warrant a closer look when those August results do come out. We have to wait and see if there is a story behind this delay. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.